Hello everyone, and today we'll be talking about transversals and parallel lines. As you can see here, we have an example of two parallel lines and a transversal line. A transversal is a line that intersects two coplanar lines at two different points. Before I continue any further, I want to tell you our essential question, and in the end of this lesson, we're gonna answer it. My essential question is, what are parallel and transversal lines, and what are corresponding angles, same side interior angles, alternate interior angles, and alternate exterior angles? Well, as I was saying, a transversal line is a line that intersects two coplanar lines at two different points. Now here, it's a transversal line because it's intersecting two lines. But these two lines are not any type of lines. They're parallel lines. To say it as a short version, parallel lines are lines that will never meet each other. And that's the reason they're straight. Because even if they have a little bit of rotation, they're gonna definitely meet each other. Because a line doesn't have a specific quantity. That's why we put these, little flashes. The ones I'm circling. It's because, It's because they can continue forward. So it means that this part, it can just go until here and then just go anywhere it wants. It can just go straight. This can go straight. This can go straight. So if there's even a little bit of rotation, they can meet each other. So that's the meaning of parallel lines and transversal lines. Let's go down. Now this is another, as you can see, these are pretty much similar. It's two parallel lines and the transversal line which is intersecting. Now I've named each of them here. The transversal line is line T. Our two parallel lines are line P and line Q. And I've put a name or specific amount for each angle. Angle 8, angle 7, angle 5, angle 6, angle 4, angle 3, angle 2, and angle 1. Now, let's talk about corresponding angles. Corresponding angles lie on the same side of the transversal and on the same side of the intersected lines. What does that mean? Suppose, when we read the definition, it says that they lie on the same side of the transversal. So it's like if we talk about the left side, 8, 5, 4, 2, and on the same sides of the intersected lines, meaning like suppose 8 and 4 and 5 and 2. On the same side means either up of the line Q and P or down of the 5 and 2. So 8 and 4 and 8, they're corresponding angles. 7 and 3 are corresponding angles too. 6 and 1 are corresponding angles. 5 and 2 are corresponding angles too. Now the main thing to remember, we can obviously, memorize the definition, but the specific main thing to remember is that they're always congruent. Angle 8 and 4 are equal to the same amount. Angles 7 and 3 are equal to the same amount. Angle 5 and 2 are equal to the same amount, and angle 6 and 1 are equal to the same amount. So that's corresponding angles. Same side interior angles. Same side interior angles lie on the same side of the transversal. So it's again, they lie on the same side, suppose 7, 6, 3, 1. And between the intersected lines. When we talk about the between, we're talking about this place. This place. And they're called interior angles, which I'll talk about more in the next two other meanings. So pretty much they're between the lines 6 and 3 and 5 and 4, and they lie on the same side of the transversal line. So 6 and 5, they can't be same side interior angles. 6 and 3, yes, they can be same side interior angles. Now, again, the main thing to remember about same side interior angles is that they are supplementary. So 6 and plus 3 is equal to 180 degrees. Yes, I know my handwriting is terrible, but I'm just trying to prove a point. So angle 6 and 3, they equal to 180 degrees. Angle 5 and 4, they're also equal to 180 degrees as well. That's for same side interior angles. Now let's talk about alternate interior angles. Alternate interior angles are non-adjacent angles that lie on the opposite sides of the transversal between the intersected lines. So again, they're between the intersected lines, meaning they could either be 6 and 3 or 5 and 4. Between, we're talking about this area. And they have to lie on the opposite side, and they're non-adjacent. So when they're non-adjacent, it can't be like, suppose 6 is here, 5 is there, so they're on the opposite sides, and they're between the intersected lines, but they're adjacent. So it can't be angle 6 and 5, but it can be angle 6 and angle 4, or it could be angle 5 and angle 3. So pretty much they have to, three things to remember. They have to be non-adjacent, they have to lie on the opposite sides, and they have to be between the intersected lines. Pretty much, I'll just give you a little quick tip. Interior angles are always between this part. So whenever you hear interior, it means between. Exterior, which I'm going to be talking about, are always the outside of the parallel lines. I mean, they're obviously connected because, we have a transversal line which connects all of them, but they're different from interior and exterior. So pretty much in alternate interior angles, they have to be non-adjacent, they have to lie on the opposite sides, and they have to be between the intersected lines. 6 and 4, 5 and 3. Okay, last angle pair. Alternate exterior angles lie on opposite sides of the transversal, so again they lie on the opposite sides, and outside the intersected lines. That's what I was talking about. So interior angles between the lines, exterior angles outside the lines. So for example, 7 and 2, these can be alternate exterior angles. Why? Because they lie on opposite sides of the transversal and outside the intersected lines. Or 8 and 1. These two can also be alternate exterior angles. So let's just sum it up as a whole, what we learned. So to answer a question, essential question, which was what are parallel and transversal lines, and what are corresponding angles, same side interior angles, alternate interior angles, and alternate exterior angles. So alternate interior angles are congruent. They are non-adjacent angles that lie on opposite sides of the transversal between the intersected lines as well. Alternate exterior angles are congruent, and they lie on opposite sides of the transversal and outside the intersected lines. Same side interior angles are supplementary. They lie on the same side of the transversal and between the intersected lines. Corresponding angles are congruent, and they lie on the same side of the transversal and on the same side of the intersected angles. And the two last ones, the transversal line, line T, PQ, are the parallel lines. A transversal line is a line that intersects two coplanar lines at two different points. And to sum up parallel lines, they're lines that they will never meet each other. That's all for today, and I will talk about theorems and postulates and the other complex parts about this lesson in another video.